Likkutei Torah, Drushim L'Sukkos, page 160. What we have to do? Parentheses, ends. Oh, it's interesting. The Maamar, we really finished the Maamar because the rest is a long parentheses. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. This is the next Maamar, page 160, second column. The Havim Mashakosov, to understand what it says in the pasuk, B'yei Mashmina Atzeres Yelochem. By Sukkot, the pasuk says, on the 8th day, Atzeres is, excuse me, holding back for you. B'shvi shel Pesach, yet by Shvi shel Pesach, it says, Atzeres al Shem Elokecha. It's a holding back for Hashem. Why by Sukkot does it say Lochem for you, and by Pesach it says to Hashem? It says in the Ksiv, it says in the pasuk, V'aftas Hashem Elokecha. Shelav Hashem b'chol levav, b'chol nafshcha, b'chol meyadecha. All your heart, soul, and might. What does it mean with all your heart? Chazal say it should have said lipcha. It says levavecha amen azal b'shnei yitzrach with the two yitzes. Yetzer tov over yetzer hara. With the yetzer tov and the yetzer hara. Hainu shekol koyach v'eitzim halav v'dish be'esh. That the shekol koyach, or the whole power and the strength of the burning of the heart. All the burning temptations that the Yetzer Hara has, Yisapech halav, that this burning love should be transformed, La Hashem alavas Hashem to God. What does it mean, love God with all your heart, with both hearts, meaning even the Yetzer Hara? What does that mean? Alter Rebbe says, normally the Yetzer Hara is passionate to worldly things. So what does it mean in Shema? You should love Hashem, that even the Yetzer Hara also has a passion only for Elokus. It's going to be when Mashiach comes. That the pasuk says, that eventually everybody is going to call in the name of Hashem. And to serve one portion, meaning one Hashem, even all the nations are going to realize the greatness of Hashem. Shem Shosh, which is the source of a taivus kashmir, the physical pleasures, they'll have a clear language that they will also call Kulam Hashem Hashem. They will also be transformed. So what's the ultimate going to happen when Mashiach comes? All the nations, meaning Goyishkeit, that represents the desires and the passion for evil, every one of them is going to be calling Hashem's name. So now that's Taveda now by each individual that you call the name of Hashem. That's the concept, this transformation of darkness to light. And to serve one part, meaning in the form of the external levels. That you turn your heart backwards, meaning against me. Now will be now they will be turning to Hashem. In other words, what do you mean you all serve one God? It means until now you turn your back to me. Now you're going to turn around and you're going to face me, meaning we're going to have this open, clear relationship that even evil will also only want Hashem. Skip the brackets. And that's why v'ahavta means two things. When it says in the Shema, you should love Hashem, your Hashem. V'ahavta is one thing, it's a commandment. You should love. V'ahava means in Hebrew, you will love. Not as a commandment. Loshin tzivoy, v'gam loshin asid. It also means v'ahavta, you will love, Meaning, Sha'at, the Ot and Seif, and Lavis Hashem. That eventually you're going to love Hashem with all your heart. That no person will be pushed away, no person will be left behind, so to speak. So that's B'chol Levavcha. What does B'chol Levavcha mean? That the passion that the Yetzer Hara has to evil will be transformed to a passion for Kedusha. B'chol Nafshecha. So what's the next level? B'chol Nafshecha. That's the level of Ava Gedei Lemizu, an even greater level of love. She'enid Beses B'lev Ha'adam. It doesn't even grasp in the heart of a person, meaning, there's no Gashmistic example of this. It's only for Hashem, which is the level of Ava Nefesh Ulekis Levad. B'chol Levavcha is Yetzer Hara's love. B'chol Nafshecha is the love of the Nefesh Ulekis. That love of the Nefesh Ulekis doesn't exist in Gashmis. Why? The love. What does love mean? We learned it many times. Love, it's a very hard word to define. You know, people love. What does it mean? That's what Lubavitch means. City of brotherly love. In Russian, Lubavitch means city of brotherly. Lubavitch is city. Luba is love. The level Ava we learned many times. The word Ava equals Aleph Hey Beis Hey equals 13, which is the numerical value of Echad. Okay, Echad also equals 13. What's the definition of love? The real definition of love is that you become one with the thing you love. The only feasible of real love of an Nefesh Ulekis is an Nefesh Ulekis because it is Chelek Halakah Mimal. It is godly. I love something. Like somebody, Manas Friedman used to say, somebody said, I love chicken. So he said to them, is that what you do to something you love? You kill it, you flick it, you cook it. Is that what you do to something? You don't love chicken. You love yourself. Chicken, if you would love chicken, you wouldn't do anything to it. Love, according to Torah, means you become one with the thing you love. Now in Gashmias, there's me and there's the thing I love. So it can never be oneness with it. The love of the Nefesh Ulekis Elokus is actually one being because it is Elokus. You can't get a greater love than if you are it. So it's a much greater love that in Gashmis you don't have. My soul is longing to you. The Avazais and this love is mislaheves to mislahetes. V'nefashes tzadikim. This is the love that tzadikim have to Hashem. Keheichel Hashem heima, because they are the chamber of Hashem and they're the keli of Beis Hashem. Okay, so b'chol levavcha is a love that even the Nefesh Shabamis loves the Elokus. B'chol nafshecha is the nefesh, meaning that's the love of the godly soul, which is much greater because it is one with Hashem. Now you come b'chol meidecha. What does that mean? It's a greater level of love, which is the Ava Rabbi b'ma'ed ma'ed. Shein and nitfes afilu b'neshamas of tzaddikim. This doesn't even exist in the neshamas of tzaddikim. In other words, b'chol levavcha is the love of a Jew transforming the passion to godliness. B'chol nafshecha is basically the love of a tzaddik, that he's one with Hashem, because the dominating force by a tzaddik is the Nefesh Ulekis. He killed it, the Nefesh Abam, and he transformed it. So his love is only Av of Nefesh Ulekis. B'chol meidecha is even a greater level of love, that even the neshamas of tzaddikim don't have this. What is that? That you mamish are one with Hashem. Not that there's a feel your neshama and God. It's one thing. And that's in B'chol Meidach, it means the infinite. It's more breaking the nature. So he says like this. It says in the pasuk, Gadol Hashem u'molo ma'ed, that Hashem is great and praiseworthy. And to his greatness there's no end. Right? We see in Asher. The love that comes from this is bechinas ma'ay bali shiva gvul. Vein ha-nefesh yichel la-siga. The nefesh can't even understand it. Even the nefesh shulakis can't understand it. Why? Because even the nefesh shulakis of a tzaddik comes into a physical body. It's not the level of the neshama l'mayla. Like it says, Chassidus says, by Avraham Avinu, Vayitzchak. Hashem told him he's going to have a kid, he laughed. Yes, the simple difference between Sarah laughed out of denial. Hashem said to him, you think I can't do it? Why is she denying it? Avraham wasn't told off because Vayitzchak means he was taka happy. But it says in the Zohar that even though Avraham Avinu was Avraham Avinu, still, he was still in the neshama in a body. So even b'chol nafshecha is not the love of a neshama out of a body. It's the love of a tzaddik in a body. So it's still limited by the body.
Is the body of tzaddik the same as the normal people?
No, it's a much more refined body, but it's still a body. In other words, in down-to-earth practical language, a tzaddik can't be in two places at the same time when he's alive. Even Eliyahu Navi, when he came into a body, we learned he can only be in one place, not two. But when a tzaddik passes away, like Dr. Rebbe said in Gersa Kodesh, that the a tzaddik is more in the world after he passes away than he is in the world when he's alive. That's what the Zohar says. Now, the Rebbe explains why. Because when you're alive, you're still limited. You can only be in one place. You can't be all over the place. A neshama can be all over the place.
Where does the longing come from? I don't want the heaven, I want you.
That exists even in the level of b'chol meidach. That's the v'afta. It means you love the b'chol meidach. That's the love of the neshama to Hashem, not the neshama that's restricted in the body. This is outside of the whole physical realm. That's like Nadav and Avihu, Rabbi Elazar ben Dodaya, those guys. But they popped out of the body, Matan Torah. Now that's not the kavanah. No, the kavanah says you should love b'chol meidacha, but not in a way that you leave the body, but like Rabbi Akiva that went in and went out. He understood that the ultimate is to have that level of love in the body. Let me tell you a little secret. We're still working on the b'chol levav chalo level. Let's not get carried away. B'chol nafshecha b'chol meidacha. When the Alter Rebbe said, I don't want your Gan Eden, I don't want your Olam Haba, I only want you, that's the b'chol meidacha. But the Alter Rebbe still stayed in the body. The tshuka was very strong. They say when Freud met the Rebbe Rashab, they had a discussion. Freud psychoanalyzed the Rebbe Rashab. Anyway, he said the Rebbe Rashab's problem is that he's longing for something he knows he can't get. In other words, he's longing for a level of godliness, the ultimate, that no person could get. Even Moshe Rabbeinu, in the body, only reached the 49th level of Bina. When he passed away, and the Neshama left the body, then he reached the 50th level. Therefore, I think the Maggid said, whatever, he was buried in Har Nevai, right? Nun Nevai is Nun Boy. Moshe Rabbeinu reached the 50th level when he died. But even Moshe Rabbeinu in body can only reach 49 levels. There's a level he can't reach because it's not possible to reach it. Yeah. And that's not the purpose. The purpose is not to pop out. Purpose to pop in.
That's what happened in the Sukkot.
That's what happened Matan Torah. That's what happened by Nadav and Avihu. That's what happened to the tshuva brother ben Dadai, but Rabbi wasn't there was a tshuva level. That's Nadav and Avihu was a tzaddik level. You know, it was a Baal tshuva level that he reached that level. And he says, in fact, who merits this level of Ava b'chomei edecha and Bali tshuva is a level of Bali tshuva, like it says, b'makom shebali tshuva aim demein tzadikim gemurim yechelul mamid. By the way, this is not about tshuva. This is about tshuva and Abloza ben Dudaya style, not the normal Baal tshuva level. But he says even tzadikim gemurim and yechelul mamid, because that level of tshuva is b'chomei edecha that even a tzaddik can't reach. Like you said, b'chol nafshecha is the level of Ava of tzaddikim. Tzaddikim gemurim. B'chol meidecha is a level of the tzaddik reaching a level of tshuva. Like it says, lasud lavei, like you said before, everybody's going to have the passion only for Elokus. Mashiach is going to get lasavet tzaddikai b'tiyufta. Mashiach is going to get the tzaddikim to do tshuva means the tzaddikim are going to reach this level b'chol meidecha that they couldn't reach while in the body. And that era, by the way, is after Tchias HaMesim primarily. After Tchias HaMesim.
There is a door, even tzaddikim can make teshuva to reach this level.
Yeah, but as we are learning in regards to tshuva, not yet. There's a level of tshuva that has nothing to do with sins. Tshuva tata, the lower level of tshuva, is for sins. Tshuva ilah has nothing to do with sins.
V1.
Huh?
V1.
It's a higher level, b'chomei decha, basically. But it's interesting, in the last many years, the Rebbe was saying, today, straight tshuva ilah. Don't even bother with tshuva tata. Just straight tshuva ilah. You know? Yes. Yesterday was his yahrzeit. What does it mean? How can l'chera Baal tshuva be greater than a tzaddik? He says, "V'inyin kamei shekot," like Shlomo Melech says, "Yisin ha'or min ha'cheshach." The greatness of light is when it comes from darkness. Pirush, sheyesh yisin u'mayla ha'or k'shabah min ha'cheshach dafka. So we learned in Tanya, now the Rebbe explained. Shlomo Melech says, "Re'isi sheyesh yisra in l'chachma min ha'sichlos ki yisin ha'or min ha'cheshach." Simply taking the pasuk, not literally, because literally we'll see what it means. Basically, Shlomo Melech is telling me, I see there's an advantage of chachma over foolishness and or over darkness. So the obvious question is, number one, I don't need Shlomo Melech to tell me that. Secondly, then the pasuk grammatically should have said, Yesh re'isi shes yisrein lo chachma al hasichlos, ki yisrein ha'or al ha'cheshach. The advantage of dark over light, the advantage of smart over stupidity. That's not what it says. The pasuk says, "V'reisi sheyesh yisrin la'or min hasichlos." I mean, chachma min hasichlos, ki yisrin or min hacheshach, from the darkness. It doesn't say over darkness. That means Shlomo Melech says the ultimate level of or is when it comes min ha'cheshach, meaning when darkness is transformed to light, that is the greatest level of light. Just like when stupidity becomes brilliance, that's the ultimate level of wisdom. And that's the concept of this level of tshuva. This level of tshuva means, again, not to do with Averis, that this level becomes transformed to such an extent that a normal person can't reach it.
Strive for it.
The point is, we have to strive for it, even though you know you're not going to get it. Because in Aveda, It's not, the Avodah is not getting it. In Yiddishkeit, according to Chassidus, the ultimate is not getting the goal, is the work towards the goal.
Journey.
The journey, that's the Avodah. The Avodah is not to get there. The Avodah is to work, to strive to get there.
What is avodah?
What?
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by it, I mean very simple. The goal is not to reach B'chol Me'edecha. The goal is to strive to want to be that level. To want to be one with Hashem. Even when you do it, you're never going to be done anyway. So until you die, it's you know.
Right, but the previous generations, even though they were a billion times smarter than us, they have many.
It's not an exaggeration, by the way.
No, it's
Yeah.
They had persecution, this and this and this, but they didn't have much challenges. They didn't have the way we were bombarded.
The tests of wealth is more difficult than the tests of poverty. There's tests, right? There's tests of poverty and there's tests of wealth. Years ago, the test was the test of poverty. Poverty includes everything. Taka no money, taka affliction, torture, oppression, all that, yeah? Now, we don't have the test of poverty. Nobody oppresses us. Baruch Hashem, the Gashmias, we have much, much, much greater than the people of the 100 years ago, 200, 300, 400, whatever. Much more. But we have a more difficult test because wealth is a difficult test. And that's why we find when Jews were tortured, the assimilation rate was much, 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 much less than when Jews have freedom. Or like the Rabbi writes in After Tetzaveh, the same Jews that in Russia had a tremendous amount of Mesiras Nefesh, when they came to the free country, the Rabbi writes, the Rebbe was nice, they didn't have the same kol kach. They don't have the same level of Mesiras Nefesh they had then. Why? Because then poverty is not as stringent of a test that wealth is.
Therefore, our teshuvah, if done properly, must be closer to Modecha because of the challenges of it.
Let's not dream it.
Every generation has its own test.
Correct. Those generations were poverty. Our generation is.
I don't think we could say they had it harder, we had it easier.
No,
They
what's
had
that?
their own
The
test.
Gash, right. But I'm saying generally,
And Hashem
we have it much easier today physically than they did.
Yeah.
Okay? So their test was poverty, oppression, all that stuff.
Now the test is depression. This generation has a depression rate unbelievable.
Because wealth makes you depressed. Speak to the psychiatrist. Having everything makes you depressed. Because what are you longing for if you have it? Longing is a good trait. That's why people are depressed, because I have everything. So what am I striving for? What am I working on? So I'm worthless. That's why people who give their kids everything are not doing them any favor whatsoever. They're not doing them a favor. They say, oh, great parent. It's detrimental to the child. Those kids, you read about always in the news. Those rich kids, end up suicidal, depressed, on drugs. Why? Because what is my life? The purpose of life, like we're learning here, is to long for something, to want something. if you have it, everything you want you have, so what type of life do you have?
You don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah, why should I do anything for?